having problems with it. I'm having some. If it's live, real, all praise shall high watch. A quick day, 29 October 20th video evil this day is. For those of you that are older, because I like my videos to go to the older of Israel that's just waking up in this Israelite movement. Those of you that are new uh, to becoming Israel, and you of mid age up to old age, and you're used to these customs, I wanted to make a short video on how evil it is. So I went into Google and Googled the origins of Halloween. But I know over the years we're so used to uh, decking the children up in different costumes, having Halloween parties. Adults do it also, private parties. And uh, as you get up into middle class and jobs of politics and prestige type of people with money, the Halloween parties that they have, they go over and above fun. It's a lot of drugs and stuff that are involved. There are a lot of people into conjuring up spirits and demons, which is how this holiday got started anyway. If you years ago, it's in order in this holiday can still be celebrated, not realize it's a day for the dead, and they're thinking it's the dead of the loved ones, but it's actually bad spirits that you're conjuring up. It's not your loved one that you that most people think that they're contact. That's why so much evil on this night before. I think it's called All Saints Day. It used to be called that. Uh, it ori- it originated in the European area. I can read some highlights on it. The mention Halloween, however, both the ancient origins of Halloween and its modern customs show it to be a celebration based on false beliefs about the dead and invisible spirits or demons. And the witches did, the druids, way back thousands of years ago. And then it slowly creaked over from England to America once they came conquering this nation, original Gadites in India, Gadites, the Hebrew. And when the founding fathers, America's founding fathers, not mine, came to this country, they brought these traditions with them. Okay. The Bible warns there must never be anyone among you who consult ghosts or spirits or cause up the dead. Halloween, as Bible indicates that the practice with it are not, I do not want to pay with demons the cup. I'm gonna go on scriptures. And also that we as Hebrew Israelites are not supposed to follow these customs. We weren't years ago. And you have to understand, if you don't understand that you're not African American and you are Hebrews, it's not going to mean anything to you. All of these traditions that were told that was told to us not to follow, it was actually talking to the Hebrew. The Most High was not talking to the world. Of course, Esau, once he got a hold of our records, they made it seem like this Bible is for everybody. It's actually to the Hebrew. So the customs, Blacks, Americans, Cubans, all the 12 tribes of Israel is not supposed to follow these. So this is basically, since we're an American, I have to say Black Americans that who you call a so-called African Americans. So this is mainly out to you. And if you see this time, you got to come into understanding of who you are and not stand dumbed down that African American. Okay, customs behind the original Halloween can be traced to this ancient pagan festival celebrated by Celtic people over 2,000 years ago. And the Catholic Church adopted these because there were so many pagans in those days when the Catholic Church started. They wanted nothing to do with the Catholic Church. So the church, when it got started, a lot of the pagans and the Celtics believed that the dead could walk among the living at this time. During Samhain, the living could visit with the dead. However, the Bible clearly teaches that conscious thing at all, thus they cannot come. Now we as Hebrews know this, but the pagan people in those days, the laws wasn't given to them. That's why they was doing foolish things. And the customs like trick or treating and all that means when it started, the trick of it was the trick of it was it would, if you didn't give them what they asked for, which was a virgin to sacrifice, because they would sacrifice children in those days, or a young woman that was of age as a virgin. And in those days, you're talking about 12, 13, flesh and a pumpkin spirits star, and they put it on the house in red. And then the treat was to have a virgin to sacrifice. This is where this trick or treat come from, because it's for children now, and it sounds so silly. You have to understand, in the Most High eyes, in His eyes, He knows the beginning of this, and this has nothing to do with praising the Most High. This is garbage, and that's why He participating. I'm gonna show you where He told us that He didn't want us to have anything to do with, as He was taking us into the land of Canaan, which is Israel today. Okay. Halloween customs, candies, and trick or treat. According to the book Halloween, an American holiday in American history, some of the Celtics wore ghoulish costumes so that wandering mistake them their own. And these demonic there that can really I don't want to say contact, pretty much take on the spirit of that evil costume that you're putting on. And that's why a lot of people, they act out the character. Okay. Now, there are a lot of people that act out in silliness and all for fun, which we shouldn't be doing. But there are some groups, Illuminati, secret societies are real out these costumes that they putting on. That's why so many children come up missing just before Halloween and never to be seen again. That's the worst day. Now, children come a year, but October 31st, I guarantee you there's a child or many children that come up missing. Societies, they sacrifice, and it's a lot of children. To the scriptures right quick, so you will see how the scriptures tell us not to participate in this mess. I'm gonna start with I can go to Leviticus 18:2. Leviticus 18:1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel and say, Lord your God. And this is when we was coming out. I'm not sorry, with Moses. That's why it you must understand your nationality, who you really are, and not what Esau, the Caucasian race, made us out to be doing slavery. If you don't understand that we're the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, you won't even understand this verse here. Until the children of, you're going to think that's another actually uh, African Americans, Mexicans, North American Indians of this country. Now we're the tribe of Judah, the African Americans, and you got the tribe of Benjamin, which are the. So if you're not understanding, then I can stop, and because you want. So that's why I like my videos to be toward the older generation. That's like movement. But I'm gonna do it Halloween because I don't have details. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. See, God is not the God of everybody. We have our own God. Okay, and in Hebrew, his name is Ahia. Ahia, Ashar, Ahia. I am that I am. That's our God. That's not the God. He's the God of the 12 tribes of Israel. So you have to understand who the 12 tribes are so you'll know who God's people are. After of the land of Egypt, wherein you dwelt, shall you not do. It wants us to do the customs of all the pagan Egypt. Now, remember, we were in Egypt. So all this Yahweh mess, we had no idea who that God was. And that's why we were calling on God, because after 200 and something, 250 years, if I'm not mistaken, Pharaoh put us in slavery for another 200 plus years. See, so we were there for over 4, nothing about, yeah, that was an Egyptian time until we came. Once he brought us out, that's when he revealed his true name of who he was. And he told us, after the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein you dwelt, shall you not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whether I bring you. You see, the Most High was taking us into the land of Canaan. Shall you not do, neither shall you ordinances, because the land of Canaan had all the giants, and those giants were mixing with human. Now, them giants came from spirits, like they did before the flood. They came down and had, well, Esau went into the Caucasian. Esau, the father, Esau started his harem, his children, and they had more than one wife. And the people there, all the people were black. Esau was the first white man. And when he mixed himself with the Canaanites, the Hittites, Midtites, and all of them, he was having children with daughters that would had the bloodline of the giant, which is called, I think, of the serpent seed, that bloodline. And this is why the Most High was telling us not to mix with them, because the bloodline was polluted. And by this time, Esau had, I think he had 4 different, okay? The doings of the land of Egypt, wherein you dwelt, shall you not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, whether I bring you, shall you not do. Neither shall you walk in their ordinances. Okay, now this is where this ties in also with these other demonic days came out of these people, started back all the Druids. That's the same bloodline that goes to them people that was in the land of Canaan, which eventually became the land of Israel after we took it over. I'm talking from the black race. After we took that land over, went in there and killed off a lot of them. A lot of them ran off into the mountains. Okay, I want to keep going into Deuteronomy. Let me add 21 to that. And thou shalt not let thy seed pass through the fire. That's the sacrifice I was talking about earlier. Okay. Pass through the fire to Moloch. Neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God, which they brought us out of. I am the child sacrifice. He was telling us we're not to get involved in these children. At that time, we were sacrificing animals. These people were sacrificing children. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through, that's children, seed, pass through the fire to Moloch, which is that statue goes lying down like that, what they call it. Okay, I'm gonna move on to Deuteronomy 7 and 1. Seven. That's it, right? 7. Talks about going into the land. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land, whether thou goest to possess it, and hast cast out many Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and these were races that was in the land of Canaan. These are Ham's descendants. Ham, remember now, we are from Shem. You got Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And this land is Ham, okay, races, Amorites, Gerg, these people out of there. We ran them clean out of there. And that's how the land of Canaan became. Okay. Going to 18. 18. 18:9. Okay. Deuteronomy 18, verse 9, 10, and 11. When thou art come into the land, so you're still talking into the land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. And those people were doing all kind of sacrifices. And because you're celebrating it 2,000 years later, you still celebrate that they were sacrificed then, service to onyx spirit, but it's still the same mess to the Most High God. He still can't stand it. Okay, there shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire. That's you had it got in Deuteronomy. If you're coming out of Sunday churches, you Testament that we shouldn't go into it, because if you don't go into it, you're not going to know as you come into being understanding that you an Israelite of what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do, and the reason behind it. The reason behind it is in the Old Testament. It tells you the reason why we're not supposed to celebrate certain holidays, but not holidays. Holy day in Leviticus. If you under your nationality back, teach yourself and understand the statutes, we have to come back to them in a modern time. And it's not hard to do. The hardest part is if you got children and you're understanding that you're Israel, giving up all them holidays, Thanksgiving, also worse than I do a video on my two aunts, my known as the three Hebrew boys. We get a video for that, and you have to just wean yourself off of celebrating this mess. It angers the Most High so much, you know. It's just like you tell do something, the child does it anyway, and he keeps doing it. Eventually, you're gonna put a belt to that butt, and this is what the Most High did with us. It's called slavery, and now that we're so far in the future, that this is another reason why Black people have such a hard time as a whole race. We don't own nothing. We don't have nothing. We because we still doing these practices. Now we slowly coming out. It's at a slow pace, and that's why a lot of Israelite camps make these videos when around. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son and his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter of spirits, or wizard, or a necromancer. See, all these are people dealing with stars and trying to tell the future, looking at your palm, all that palm reading, or that talks a spirit, a dead, and that to you. See, all that kind of garbage we're not supposed to be getting involved in. But when I say we, is Israel, it's the Hebrews that are not supposed to do that. Now, everybody else, the other nations, they can get involved in this. The Most High cares less about the other nations. So this is mainly talking to the Hebrew Israelites. This is what you have to understand when you come into understanding that you're an Israelite and not African American. I mean, I can go on, but I didn't want to make a long video. I just wanted to make something short. I didn't get with my brothers this weekend. I had some things going on, and they were busy, so I wanted to make something quick. But in 2 days, we got this mess, and I can only tell you, Israel, to be careful and keep your children home. Don't participate. A lot of children come up missing, be a lot of fights at bars and stuff like that. Uh, it's an excuse for poor people to go out and seriously commit a crime because you're hiding behind masks, and serious things can happen out there. But you know, my point, keep